Hey everybody, I would have filmed earlier, but I wasn't feeling very well earlier. Now I'm feeling a little bit better. I took a nap and I got up and had some Pepto. I don't know what's going on. I think I ate a bad burrito yesterday, which I'm not really sure because I had two of them. I had one like at the beginning of my work shift and one more towards the end. So if it would have been the burritos, you know, you'd think the first one would have affected me, so I don't know, it's weird. Maybe just one of them went bad, which is kind of, and they were homemade, so they were made at the same time. Yeah, so I'm a little confused. I mean, I don't know. So I just had some Pepto, and now we're gonna get started. My lovely other half is supposed to be bringing me some Sprite, so if he stops in before I finish, it might cut out. It's wonderful to have you guys back today. Stay tuned. This week I have a lot more time to myself. I was gonna go down to my parents on Friday and help them out some, but because I was sick today, that's gonna have to be canceled. So I'm gonna be spending even more time doing some prep work for you guys. And this weekend I have all to myself, which means I will be devoting a lot of that time to Little Miss Daisy and some of that time to girl time. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Some relaxing with some wine and, you know, maybe doing my nails. So it's been a while. I might just do it. Might just tease, or might just spoil myself a little bit. Just saying. All right, now let's get into this. I'm sure you guys are like, let me see the journal already. So I put on this is the only little charm I really put on the side. And it says, it's not focusing, there we go. It says made with love. I didn't really have any aged antique metal in sewing style. I had some silver, and I have silver buttons on here, but I kind of wanted to keep the metals the same on this one. So we have the vintage Patern paper on the cover, and of course this beautiful design going on here. I love how it came out. And if you guys watched the one the other day with the pink rainbow butterfly kitty unicorn, something like that, and then you'll have seen my little haul that I got. This is one of those beautiful pieces. It is metal. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is metal. And of course that cute little metal button there. And you got a belt buckle here. Beautiful. I think it's a pearl or pearlite type belt buckle. And then we have this beautiful Surrey silk ribbon to close it. And look at all of these beautiful ribbons. I mean, I'm in love with the way it looks on here. I kind of wanted to hang some charms on it, but again, I haven't really found any that I've officially liked that would have matched this style, so I just left it plain. If any of you guys have seen my journals like this before, usually I stick charms on the side. I think if you could find some yourself when you get this journal, they would look magnificent on here. So on the inside, got this beautiful inlay pocket made from the same pattern paper that's on the front. And then we got some vintage style paper with pattern pieces and a dress, a concept dress, and this little library book card with some beautiful lace, and just this like sketch looking paper. And I used Tim Holtz paper in this one. I tried to go very vintage grungy. And I got this tag, and this came from a lot of my ephemera kits with the embossing that I did and a bunch of other stuff. I got so overwhelmed with it that I haven't had the chance to get the ephemera out in individual kits. But at some point I definitely will get some out to you guys. We also have some beautiful vellum here. And I put a lot of the vellum near the eco-dyed paper. This one does have eco-dyed paper in it. There's some vintage sewing journals and books. We got some tape measure washi. I need to find some more. I love the tape measure washi. A really cool button. Love them. There's like 3 of these buttons throughout the journal. I think they're so cute. And now again, some more vintage sewing patterns and vintage book stuff. Those little coffee table type magazines that your grandmother may have gotten when you were a kid. And I like the double-sided Tim Holtz paper for this journal on the simple fact of I put it on the vellum for some of them so you can enjoy both sides. So that looks really nice. And some more eco-dyed paper. And I think this is a Coco Chanel button because it's got the CC. See, and I didn't notice it until I flipped over. I thought the other side of the button was the actual button. So if it actually is a Coco Chanel button, that would be pretty neat. And of course you got this little hideaway piece you can journal on with this little lace. It's getting dark outside over here, looking like it's gonna rain, and I'm actually starting to hear some thunder. So I really like this Tim Holtz piece of paper. It looks like a lot of those journals people are doing, the oh, I can't remember the name, planner style. And of course it has the mock-up of a pattern, you know. And then of course all these little pretty pieces. And I love this paper. I'm not sure what brand it is. My Aunt Trudy ordered me a bunch of it and sent it my way. So this one's getting used quite a bit in a bunch of these future minis like this. Of course, we got a metal button here. I like that one. This actually came from a Learn to Sew book, a big, huge, gigantic vintage one. You can see the berry stains here. I don't know if you can hear that, but that was some beautiful thunder. So there's some berry stains here for some privet. Yeah, you can really see the patterning going on there. And again, it's double-sided, so you can see the other side of the paper and the pocket before you can get there. And some more vintage pattern paper. And this pattern paper is pretty sturdy. But it is getting old. It's not as delicate as some paper I've put in my journals, but just be aware it is a little delicate. This is from a more vintage sewing type coffee table book too, with patterns and all that other stuff. It's a little bit gentle, or delicate I should say, but it's not terribly delicate. I love that, these Tim Holtz pins. So I put some of those in here with this beautiful lace. Isn't that just, excuse me, isn't that just gorgeous? And this button, I really like this button. Isn't that button really neat? It's so cool and so textured. And of course some more Tim Holtz with some flowers and some more vintage I remember these yarn caterpillars. We made a couple when we were a kid. And the see-through vellum with more Tim Holtz paper. You can see it on the back. And of course more beautiful eco-dyed paper. And I made this little cute ephemera lace bobbin piece. And it's got a wonderful Tim Holtz pin. I don't know if you can see the texturing in it. My light just went away because of the storm. Well, some of it did. I have a little bit of light here from my actual lamps, but I got them pointed in a non-harsh direction. And of course another pocket in this beautiful paper. And now we're about halfway through the journal. We got fashion art, school, and central school. So it's kind of like an artsy type vintagey thing. And of course fashion book for creative sewing. This was a really cool book to get a hold of. And another vintage Tim Holtz style piece of paper. But this book was really fun to play with. I got lots of different small journals out of it. Obviously I haven't gotten them all together yet. This is the first of several different ones, so each one is going to be individual and unique. So look at this little button, it's so cute. And of course we got another belly band here, and of course some curtain patterns and how to sew curtains. And you remember that old clock? It's a vintage advertisement for that clock. And some more Tim Holtz paper and a pattern for this little guy. And some vellum and eco paper going on here. And of course some more ad paper. I love this vintage lace. I'll be sad when I'm out. Here's another little corner pocket. And I love this piece. It's very textured and colorful. And here we got a sewing tag with a vintage style sewing machine, and it's embossed. I was feeling sick earlier. And of course, now I'm starving. My body can't make up its mind. So I love this sheet with this face and stuff, and the Tim Holtz. This is the mini size. There's actually the full size sheets of paper, and I did do a triangle journal. That one came out pretty neat. I'm not sure if I finished that one yet or not. I know I have one of my triangle journals listed on Etsy. I love this yellow paper, so I was kind of glad to get to show it off, and it matches perfectly with this lace going on here. Here's another one of these beautiful buttons. Collect signature. I thought that was pretty neat. It'd be a fun one to add. I don't know why, I just really like that paper. And some vintage style curtains. And the back of Miss McSally's. Ooh, excuse me. McSally's How to Sew at Home Decorations Guide. And now we're more than halfway through. I still love this beautiful paper. Oh, I hope you can hear that thunder. I know I can. It's beautiful. So there's a beautiful bow and some lace. And some more for the curtains. I don't know if this one's curtains or a bed sheet, because I know the book went into several different types. I also love this paper. I think it's so gorgeous and just simplest, very simple. This button though, I love this button. Isn't that so pretty? Oh yeah, it's getting closer out there. I love how pretty this one is. This eco paper. And of course we got the dyeing on the Tim Holtz paper to kind of match it. And again, it's on vellum, so you get to see the dyeing and the stains on this one. And another good pocket. And this vintagey type lace again. I love this lace. Be sad when I'm out of this one too. And this other beautiful button. I really like that button. And there's like a little kind of invisible pocket right there, and then you can see this little, I think it's just like 80s style going on here with the knitted sweater. And of course an old advertisement. And this one for Tim Holtz piece. And some vellum. And some more vintage paper. Or not vintage, eco dye. and a belly band. And of course we have another one of these wonderful Tim Holtz pins. It says vintage 98. Oh, and this one has a beautiful blue Tim Holtz pocket. And then I hand stitched these buttons onto this ephemera. So I love the way that one came out. It was really, really fun to make. And then, of course, on the back you can see the stitch work and the stitched on lace. So I really liked that one. And then there's kind of like a little tuck here in the paper. I love this paper so much I wanted to add it, but I didn't have a full sheet. So I kind of added the two together using some old masking tape. And it's funny too because this is old masking tape that I know my parents had when I was like 7 or 6 years old. And it got tucked in a drawer somewhere. So it actually yellowed really good and all that and aged nicely. And I wound up getting a hold of it a few years later and never used it. And now I'm using it in my art journal, so I will be sad when I run out of that. There's another belly band. And some beautiful lace. Tim Holtz in a pocket. And I love that staining there. Isn't that uniquely beautiful? Some eco staining on the paper. And a little tag here. And another big Tim Holtz paper tuck spot with another one of these cool buttons. And definitely plenty of journal space, plenty of collage space. And this beautiful vintage looking Tim Holtz paper, and it's stitched really nicely. And you can see the other paper on the back side. And I love this. Now this is not vintage, but it is definitely coffee stained. And a little bit more of a difficult one to find. I think Joanne sells it by the roll, but you never know how long they're going to actually have something. I also really love this button. It's sparkly. Isn't that so unique? So I threw that sparkly button in there. And of course there's a pocket. And here's another pocket from this paper I really, really like. And another Tim Holtz pocket. And as you can see, here's the masking tape for the back side and the end of the journal. Right here we got kind of like a little, and it's a tiny pocket. It's nothing crazy, but it's still a cute little pocket. And a clip here maybe to hold some papers and some goodies. And of course it is also, let's see if we can't get, oh yeah, it sounded really nice out there. Yeah, my poopers went up in my lap because they don't like the thunder. So, and there's that little tuck spot there. And that is it. So I know that was a pretty long flip through. If you guys enjoyed it, please let me know. And I thank you very much. But I kind of went a little in depth this time. And I actually talked about the journal instead of telling stories. So I know that might be a little bit different. Maybe it's because I'm kooky and not feeling well. Come here, Fluff. So Fluff hates thunderstorms. He's my little chicken. Huh, Fluff? Are you my little chicken? He's my little chicken. Tell him. I'm a chicken. I don't like thunder. It's my big baby. So we're gonna go sit in the living room for a little while and hope her tummy feels better. And hope that this storm passes before I have to go into work. Going in a little bit later than normal tonight because I wasn't feeling good. So I'm hoping that it'll be a pretty chill night and I won't feel too terrible. So thank you all for tuning in. Silly. And if you love this journal, definitely hit the like button, please. Also, head on over to Etsy because it will be listed this evening. So usually as soon as this video lists, it's already in the shop or being placed in the shop. So I gotta photograph it and hold on to my little boy because he's such a sissy in the storm. I love him though. He's my snuggleophagus. So alright, you guys have a wonderful night. And I will talk to you later. Bye.